Hey, what's up guys? It's me, Elay, aka Elay Understood. Elay Understood is actually my author's name, but I prefer just plain on Elay. We're going to talk about right now is cyberbullying, and I'll be getting my information from ditchthelabel.org. That's ditchthelabel.org. I will have the link to their exact page down at the bottom in the comment section and in the description section of where I got this from, so you can reread it yourself as well. So from this organization here, they're talking about cyberbullying, top 9 tips on overcoming it. And right here it says about the author of this. It says, Ditch the Label is one of the largest anti-bullying charities in the world. Each month we provide crucial support to thousands of people aged 12 through 25 through our website. As part of our commitment to support, we regularly produce guides and articles like these ones as a way of sharing our tips. I'll be reading to you guys some of the things that they have on here. Cyberbullying. What is it? Cyberbullying is the use of digital technologies with an intent to offend, humiliate, threaten, harass, or abuse someone. Top 9 tips for dealing with cyberbullying. From our research, we found that up to 17% of young people experience cyberbullying before the age of 25. But what is it and who does it affect? Cyberbullying comes in a whole range of different shapes and sizes, and is something that is totally subjective to the recipient. Once again, cyberbullying is the use of digital technologies with an intent to offend, humiliate, threaten, harass, or abuse someone. Anyone can become a recipient of cyberbullying, regardless of how old they are, or the kind of job that they do, or what their hobbies might be. In fact, it is well documented that a lot of our favorite celebrities and role models also experience cyberbullying. The most important thing is knowing how to deal with it. Here are the top 9 ways to deal with cyberbullying if you're being targeted. Number 1, never respond. Do not reply to anything that has been said or retaliate by doing the same thing back. Saying something nasty back or posting something humiliating in revenge may make matters worse or even get you into trouble. Number 2, screenshot. If you can, take a screenshot of anything that you think could be cyberbullying and keep a record of it on your computer. I'm going to read that one again. Screenshot. If you can, take a screenshot of anything that you think could be cyberbullying and keep a record of it on your computer. That's a good one. Number 3, block and report. Most online platforms have this function. Make sure you block and report the offending users to the appropriate social media platform. You can block people from video games too. I have to block a couple people on a game I play on the computer, and after I did that I felt better and I went back playing the game. So you can block people not only on social media, you can block people in gaming too. Number 4, talk about it. You may not feel it at the time, but cyberbullying affects you in many different ways. You are not alone. Talking to someone about bullying not only helps you seek support, but it documents evidence and will take a huge weight from your shoulders. I'm going to read this one again. Step 4, talk about it. You may not feel like it at the time, but cyberbullying affects you in many different ways. Like you can get sick, you become weak, you can become dizzy, you may not be able to think clearly. You may not be physically hurt, but your actions will show, and you may be questioning yourself like, why do I feel this, or why can't I just get this right, or I used to remember the words of this song, and all of a sudden you're forgetting stuff that you remembered. That's how it can affect you too. So once again, talk about it. You may not feel it at the time, but cyberbullying affects you in many different ways. You are not alone. Talking to somebody about bullying not only helps you seek support, but it documents evidence and will take a huge weight from your shoulders. Number 5, how serious is it? Assess how serious the cyberbullying is. If it is a light name calling from somebody that you don't know, it may just be easier to just report and block that user. Number 6, report it. If you are experiencing cyberbullying from somebody you go to school or college with, report it to a teacher. If someone is threatening you, giving out your personal information, or making you fear for your safety, contact the police or an adult as soon as you can. Number 7, be private. We recommend that you keep your social media privacy settings high and do not connect with anybody who you do not know offline. You wouldn't talk to a random person on the street, so why do it online? People may not always be who they say they are, and you could be putting you and those that you care about at the most risk. Number 8, talk to them. Sometimes it may be appropriate to request that a teacher or a responsible adult holds a mediation between you and the person who is bullying you online, if they go to the same school or college as you. As mediation can be scary but is often incredibly powerful. As mediation can be scary but is often incredibly powerful. Mediation can be scary but is often incredibly powerful. It is essentially a face-to-face conversation between you and the person bullying you in a controlled, equal environment. This is a proactive and effective way to deal with online bullying. And number 9 says sympathize. 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 Number 9 says sympathize. Always remember that happy and secure people do not bully others. People who bully are going through a difficult time themselves and will often need a lot of help and support. I am going to go back to, let's see, which one here? I'm going to read it again. It was a good one. I believe it was number 7 where it says be private. We recommend that you keep your social media private settings high and do not connect with anybody who you do not know offline. You wouldn't talk to random people on the street, so why do it online? People may not always be who they say they are, and you could be putting you and those that you care about the most at risk. To me, I believe that privacy online and in person is about the same hand in hand nowadays, because if you're running into somebody at work and you may not know a lick or two about them, but on the outside they may seem fine, all they have to do is pretend to be your friend, and then you add them on social media. They could be just 20 times as worse as befriending a stranger from another country. So you still have to use your better judgment even when you're befriending people in person, because just because you got to meet them in person for a day or a couple days or a couple weeks and you give them that permission to add them as your friend, even if your settings are set to private, you're inviting them in still, and they can do a lot of damage. And sometimes that's what people do now, because they know if they know you, they'll look, first of all, before even coming up to you. Most people now will check you on your social media. They'll ask someone else. They won't ask you directly, what's her name? What's his name? What nickname do he go by? What nickname do she go by? Then they'll research you on Google and all these other social medias first. And then if they see that everything you have is only for friends of friends or private, that's when they'll approach you, because they have no other way to access you now. And if they're not willing to pay the $19 or the $23 or the $56 to do a thorough criminal background check, if they're not willing to investigate like that, yeah, then they're going to come and want to try to be your friend, because they've hit a hard place, because you have just, your settings are set so privately. So they'll come in and pretend to be your friend just so you can accept them. And then if you notice that in a couple weeks or so your social media start popping for not all the good reasons, it's probably because that idiot you let in. So I feel that it goes hand in hand with being private, just as in person as in, and just as well on social media, because once again, things are really different now, and people are thinking in more devious ways, because that's how more accessible things are now. So I do like this here. It is ditch the label. Ditch the Label. I'm going to read it again so people can get familiar with what this website is, because this is a good website to go to. From what I'm seeing at this moment, it says Ditch the Label is one of the largest anti-bullying charities. It's a charity in the world. Each month we provide crucial support to thousands of people aged 12 through 25 through our websites. As part of our commitment to support, we regularly produce guides and articles like these ones as ways of sharing our top tips. So according to what they're saying, and based on what I'm reading, they'll continuously bring up refreshing ways to help people who are in these situations, to help us be more aware of how to handle them, how to be aware of things, to learn new ways how people can and will try to approach you. If they can't get in one way, they will try another way. Cyberbullying is not fun, and it do happen. Cyberbullying, in my opinion, is just a better access for bullies to reach you at home. Usually when you go out in the world, before all the technology became what it is, you will dread going out into the world because you knew at work or at school that bully would be there. But now, thanks to social media, not only do you have to deal with the bully at work or at school, you have to come home and deal with it when you turn on your social media, if you don't have anything blocked. But once again, why would you want to even have to deal with that? That can be annoying too. You shouldn't have to set all these high restrictions and priorities and additional protections just to guard yourself from people who don't know when to stop, or who just pretend to be one way but are here to find a way to sabotage you. But that's the way it is now. So having said that, that is the topic for this particular portion of cyberbullying. If you have any comments or questions, or like to share bits and pieces of your story, or things that you do or have done to prevent cyberbullying, if you went through it, please feel free to drop it down in the comments. I'll reread everything in bold again as far as the 9 steps, and then I'll let you guys go on your way to continue having a wonderful day. So here we are, top 9 tips for dealing with cyberbullying. Number 1, never respond. Number 2, screenshot, meaning screenshot what he or she put on there and keep a register of it. I love that one. Screenshot what he or she sends, so you can prove it in court if necessary. Screenshot all that stuff, save it, back it up on your computer, send it to yourself, print it out at the computer and mail it so you can have a hard copy. Remember that there's always ways around it. Sometimes it may seem difficult or impossible to find a way to dodge a bullet from a cyberbully, but just keep digging and keep trying. I will repeat this one more time. Number 2, screenshot any and everything that person is sending you, so if it comes to that, you have physical proof to show in court or to the police what he or she is doing. Number 3, block and report. Block and report. Number 4, talk about it. May sound taboo, but it is hard to do. But talk about it to someone whom you trust. And having said that, sometimes it's hard to find someone that you trust. So how about talking to yourself by making a video recording of everything? Play it back, hash it out, see if that works. If not, just keep an open mind in your heart that you want to talk to someone. There are psychiatrists out there. Going to a shrink is not crazy. It's crazy if you don't go because you want help. Number 5, how serious is it? Examine the situation, because each person's level of tolerance is different. If someone sends you something and calls you a bitch and it don't make you feel good, and make you feel uncomfortable, then that's when you take action. Everybody's tolerance level is different. So number 6, report it. Number 7, be private. We talked about that. No matter the privacy restrictions that you set on social media, the same applies when you're in the work environment. Not fooling with digital computers, because people are just going to come at you no matter what. just to get to your social media. Number 8, talk to them. And what they mean by that is, if you don't feel right talking to them face to face, have someone in authority be between the two of you so you can talk. I have a situation like that where sometimes it may be hard to talk to someone, but I really need to hash it out. So the best thing to do is probably have someone such as an authority figure, a judge or a police, or someone like really intimidating looking to stand in between so you can get both sides of the story and hash it out. If that don't work, there is number 9. Always remember this at the end of the day, to laugh at the fact that the main reason these people are, ladies and gentlemen, the main reason they are bullying is because their world is more effed up than yours. And so they're going to be jealous and they're going to be mad, and unfortunately they do not know how to vent it out themselves. So they're going to come and pick on you. Don't give in to that. Just remember that their life is sorry and they don't know how to deal with it, so they're going to pick on you. Fight back by following these steps that are listed above. Don't let them win. Don't hurt yourself. Don't take your life. Fight back by choosing to stay alive. Don't give them what they want. They want you to fail. You don't want to win. You don't want them to win. You don't want the bully to win. Best way to beat them is to fight through this. Alright then, stop bullying now. Stop bullying now. Stop bullying now. I cannot say it enough. Stop bullying now.